All right. So if you have any questions or you want to get back with your team, we are launching the leopards today. I know the last time we launched them was like April. It was like April, and it was kind of crazy. I know Kelly obviously her and I were at our computers for many, many hours, and $800 to $1,000 later, we were successful. Or we didn't know if we were successful because we didn't know if it went through or not. So I'm hoping, like last week's, the internet was pretty flawless. Really, it was really great. So if you're new and you don't know, my name's Erica Hackman. I lead Zaya All Stars, which is it started as a group of just like 20 of us, and we've grown over the last couple months to now over 120 people. So Heather is a sister line of me. She is on Zion Fire, but she's on Charmaine's team. She's a director. What's it called?
Team Illuminate.
Illuminate. So we're illuminating ourselves today. So just a little bit about the leopards. Our Brilliance leopards, the pockets, I have in an 8-10. I'm a true 10. Do you wear your true size?
Yeah, well, I went down a size.
Okay, so I also feel like I could have gone down a size. Has a high waistband, but it does roll for me.
Same.
If I'm wearing my true to size, does it roll when you move down?
Yeah, it's not really a legging that I would necessarily work out in. A high intensity workout. You could probably do like yoga and stuff like that, but a high intensity I probably wouldn't do.
So same with these. I did a Peloton workout today in it, and same thing. Like you can see I'm sitting down and they roll. So I like to, just like the metallics, I like to market these as just a fashionable legging. Like she said, you could probably do, I probably wouldn't even do vinyasa yoga in it. I probably would limit it to walking, probably. Walking and or errands and looking great while you just stand there. Okay. So I know that they do withhold sweat a little bit more, and they probably won't lose that color because of the metallics. I know I worked out a lot in, and it loses its matte, so that won't happen here. But you will see like that my legs are a little bit bigger, so as they stretch, you'll see the print goes a little bit. And it does have that little scrunch down the middle, just like our black ones, just like they're pictured. The bras, there are obviously some graphics floating around about sizing of the bras. I'm going to be honest. I'm a 34, 36, and I wear true to size. In the grid and in the mesh. A lot of people say size up. So it's kind of whatever you feel comfortable telling your customer. Do you size up in those bras?
Yeah.
So like for her, she sizes up.
Yeah, but I'm also 38 double D, so it's
more room.
Yeah.
I would say especially in the grid bra, like, sorry, I'm just going to flash you, but this is a medium in the grid bra, and it probably fits similar to the leopard. It's a little stretchy, and I do have some side boobs. So it's just about what you're comfortable with. When I wore the leopard large, I felt like it was too loose if I wanted to work out. It was okay for swim top probably. I just was like, I would rather have a little bit tighter in the band because the band is so small. The mesh, obviously a leopard has mesh in the back in that racer back tee, and the Brilliant or the grid is a little bit different. Okay.
The mesh is adjustable too.
It's adjustable?
Yeah, the straps are.
Okay, the mesh Brilliant, I've had that for so long, I don't know. It has adjustable straps. I did have someone ask me yesterday about material. It's polyester and no, it's nylon and spandex blend, different percentages. And then the ones that she has on the black pocket ones have a bit of polyester, if anybody cares. The pads are removable. Like other brands that I've carried, they don't fall out in the washer. I think that's the best thing about them. Does anybody have any questions about the items? So low compression, you can size down in the black pocket. I don't recommend sizing down in these. If you have bigger legs, they will kind of stretch that print. And size up is the recommendation for the bras. I stay true to size. Anything else? Just remember, these are big sales days. So that's why, you know, just like on Wednesdays when we have competitions, you got to really stretch it out here. So contacting all of your VIP customers, letting them know that we have them in stock. This is how I set the expectation for my customers. Anybody who messages me that they want to get that, I take the responsibility to order for them. If they don't want me to order for them, they have my link. I have something today where anybody who orders a leopard from me or off my link, I'll put them in a drawing to earn some earrings that I ordered from a small business that I'm promoting right now. You can do whatever you want. You can do a half off or whatever if you want to make something fun of it. I also said that they could order from anybody's link, so they could be nice and just order from anyone on my page's link. So you can make it a fun day. If you have teams, I always encourage competition. Everybody loves a friendly competition. Even if you sell $100 or $200, and you can send them a pop socket or a blow pop. I don't care what you send them. Okay. It's a fun day. And then tomorrow we get to do it all over again. So, I'm going to let Heather talk now. I know she did a phenomenal training. If you don't follow Heather on social media, please do. As part of Charmaine's group, Charmaine Catron, is that how you say her last name? Yeah. Close enough. Yeah. She is a Zaya executive on our team. She joined about the same time that I did, and we are in a leadership group together. I love Charmaine. She's like the tallest, low-key country girl I've ever met. And she has a rock star team. And I met Heather and Kelsey and some other girls at Summit, and we just hit it off. And I've helped Heather a couple of times in her drive to director. And so she did a training that I really loved, and it pretty much is just loving your body where it is. So I'll let her kind of take off while I wrangle up my kids, and then we'll let Amy go from there.
Hey guys, like she said, my name is Heather Worman. I have been a Zaya rep for just over a year, and so my big market is curvy women. Just being completely honest, I have been anywhere from a 16 to a 20 size. Since my junior year of high school through college to now. And it's kind of one of those things where I struggled with it growing up. When I was younger, I was always super athletic, played basketball in high school, played 4 years of college basketball. I've always kind of been what they call just a thicker girl. It is what it is. And it's kind of one of those things where now at this age, I've embraced it. I think the biggest thing for me is that I think my aunt is actually the one who said it. You can either choose to wake up happy or you can choose to wake up pissed off at the world. So I take that same approach with my curves. You can either choose to hate your curves or you can choose to embrace them and use it to your advantage and use it as a business and a marketing tool. So one of the biggest things that I talk about in our group with my team is that if you are worried about posting a picture because you don't think you look great in it or you don't feel like you don't feel great in it, honestly, just post the dang picture. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where I have gotten more feedback in my VIP group and on my social media with the pictures where I'm showing the most skin, which I don't like necessarily to show skin, where my roles are there. My honesty is there with the post because people want honesty. They want to know what the clothes look like on you. After all, they're following you. They're not necessarily following Zaya on social media because, I've got tons of customers on Zaya Wednesday that reach out and say, what's the fit on these? I obviously don't have the new releases yet. Like, I watched Zaya Instagram post, So they're following you. They want to know what your opinions are. They want to know what, how you feel in the clothes. And so that's the biggest thing that I can suggest is just post the picture. Be honest. If you feel like, if it's one of those pictures that, because this has happened to me multiple times, if you're like, oh, I'm just trying to think of something creative to come up with this post, just post the picture. Tell them how the leggings make you feel. And you'll get more, more feedback and stuff, just the more honest you are. I think that's one of the biggest things that has helped me with the Zaya business, and just that vulnerability, and just that people kind of seek that because it makes them feel normal. We all have imperfections. Not one of us is made the same, and that's what's cool about this, and that's what I've kind of learned to love, and just posting different things and how the clothes make me feel. So like I said, I've been in sports my entire life. I coach now. I'm a teacher. So I live a very active lifestyle. I'm crazy busy. I'm actually a model for a plus size boutique in my hometown. And it's just kind of one of those things where just embrace it. Love yourself for you, and just embrace it.
Sweet. Do you guys have any questions? All right. Well, we're excited that Heather's here. When she said she was coming down, I'm like, yay, come on over. So, yeah. So, all right, Amy, if you are ready, I know I'll just do a little intro for anyone that doesn't know Amy. I know obviously she has some teammates on here, but this is a great training for you guys to give to your teams. Amy joined maybe just over a little bit of a month ago and has double ranked and built quite the team around her. She's under Candace, who's under me. So Amy used to teach my kiddies, is right there. Baylor and Braxton are buds. Girlfriend, that's who he calls his girlfriend. I'm cool with that. So boy only. So we've known Amy for quite some time. Our kids went to school together when we first all moved to the area. And she's done an amazing job in parties. I think that I've seen, newer people come out the gate in the 2s and 3s in their first month. And Amy has consistently been in the 5s and 6s as far as sales go. So, I think volumes for someone who can book as many parties, get as many sales, and at the same time add a team. Her husband's been on the road. She's, getting all these things together in her house. So I know her time is valuable, and it's crazy because we all have kids at home. But, and I'm still reading the Listen Sister book, and I will always speak to post, host, follow up. It's a simple system. So I know what Amy's probably going to tell you won't be a surprise, but I need you to see that it can be done, and she's very, very close to hitting director. So within 2 months, she's done 10 personal sales, and that is very good. So especially when our website is off and our inventory is low. So I'm gonna just let her talk about parties. I'm gonna let her talk about how she manages her time with having kids at home and activities and just being by herself sometimes. And I'm also gonna have her talk about just like all things that she did in her first couple of months, because some of us are still starting our businesses. That maybe if you could just take one small nugget from that and try it to your business, or contact her and kind of just ask her some more questions on a personal level. It's a little different when you've been in the game for 1.5 years versus 2 months. So I love hearing from you guys. I'm gonna let her talk, and we'll go from there.
Okay, hi guys. So I was in MLMs for about 4 years. Cleaning is also one of my passions, and so it was for a cleaning company. And although I loved it, there was still something missing. And I think the biggest thing with Zaya is, so I've always wanted to maybe become a trainer, but not be a trainer, not go to school for it, because my passion really is in children. But I love uplifting other women as well. And so I think my biggest thing was mindset. If you guys haven't read You Are a Badass, highly recommend it. This is definitely when you have your mindset in the right way, then you will soar. Not that I didn't do good in the other MLM, but it is all about mindset. So try and get your mind there, and kind of like to piggyback off of Heather, be honest, be genuine to yourself, post often to your VIP group. I logged on this morning and I was kind of amazed and still have chills at how large my VIP group has grown. But I'll be honest, I was one that would never post a selfie, and you would never see a video of me ever. It would maybe be of my kids, and I sometimes didn't even post videos of them. So do that live. Once you do that first live and you jump out of your comfort zone, I promise you the second and third and fourth lives will be so much easier. It just shows that you're more genuine, and that is just, it speaks volumes to a lot of people. As far as the business aspect, I don't think of my business that it's about me. My business is about my customers, who in turn become my teammates. I make it all about them. And I know sometimes I might go out of my way and stress myself out even more. But I'm getting into a lot of people who have never even tried it, but have heard of Zaya because it's out there. And so, you know, like I've started trying to get them in a pair of leggings. So kind of as far as parties, I used to run my parties as events. Ladies, if you do that, I highly recommend you to try running it as a group. One of my last events that I did, I realized that my people weren't getting any of their notifications, not even my hostess. And I was like, what in the world? And so I had done a few trainings, and someone had mentioned doing a group. Total game changer. Every night, kind of how I manage my business, once the kids are in bed, I take an hour, and kind of in the leadership group that I'm in, they call it Power Hour. I take that hour and I schedule all my posts for the next day. Some posts, definitely, yes, you want them to be interactive. I recommend the Zaya Papaya. Go to that page. I copy and paste even some of their posts and save some of their pictures. But yeah, make it, if you schedule your posts, then basically you have the rest of the day, the next day, to run around with the kids, be crazy, but also interact when you get time. Because some of my posts are interactive, like tell me about you, what's your active lifestyle? So I can respond to those and not be stressed about what I'm going to post to my group. Or for instance, we've been having a lot of restocks. I can still have time to post those restocks right away, and I'm only on my phone for a couple minutes posting them to my groups. So the group is super big because you can schedule the posts. What else? Let's see here. Post daily and do lives. I do a live at the very beginning of my parties. I feel like I thank my host for hosting, and I do a review of all the products. So I stand by my rack, I hold them up on the hanger, and I review what I have. You don't have to have it all. They don't want you to know that you have it all, because more than likely they're going to join your team if you don't have it all, because they don't want to think they have to go out and spend all that money. So I've slowly built my inventory, but don't think that you have to have it all to do a live. Do a live with what you have. They want to see you in the product, and they want to see the product somewhat in person through that live. And I also do a live at the end of my parties, thanking the host and thanking my customers. And then I took the final post off of that Zaya Papaya page, and I always post that the very last day of my party. And basically it just goes over, it thanks them for being there. It gives them my Instagram link, it gives them my Facebook link, but I also post the pictures of joining my team and becoming a rep for Zaya, or hosting a party. And I get a lot of feedback off of that, because by the end of the party, a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, you know, I could so do a party and host. You're not in home. A lot of our parties aren't in home anymore. So it makes it super easy for our hostesses. But yeah, I think that's kind of about it. Just be genuine. I do go out of my way a little bit for my customers, but I want to share that product with them. It's about them, and for me at least. And I think if you're genuine, then they'll see that in you, and you'll have random people, like I would never have taken a picture of myself in a bra and posted it, but that's where you get the most interactive, and that's a lot of what Heather said. They want to see the true you. They want to see the honest you, and that's what people really will make them come back for more.
Hey, Amy, so when you started, or I guess now, do you have a goal of how many parties you want to do a week?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So I am doing on average 2 to 3 parties a week. And really my goal is to try to get one party off of every party. Sometimes it's a lot better, and we'll talk to him later. I tell my team, don't be afraid to do reach outs. I try to do at least 10 reach outs a week. You're going to get no's. It's going to happen, but at least you're planting that seed. And a lot of times those no's are possible maybes, or, like later on. Like I have people who, I'll reach out and ask, or they'll see me in the store with my Zaya on, we'll smile, we'll wave, and then they'll message me a couple days later. Like I had one girl who I saw in Walmart, smiled, waved, friendly. But I could tell that she definitely had paid attention to like what I was wearing, because she texted me yesterday and she's like, okay, I need to learn more and I want to host a party. Tell me more about Zaya. So just wear the clothing, plant those seeds. Don't be afraid for that no, because more than likely you could get, out of your 10 reach outs, you could get 5 yeses, and that's 5 parties on your calendar. With the other MLM, I was so terrified to ask. I was so terrified to ask people, but it all really is in your mindset. And I think that if you can get past asking them, it becomes so much easier.
So when do you typically, when do you present like the business opportunity?
So I typically present it in my live at the very beginning. I basically just tell them about my life. I have 3 kids. My husband works out of state, and like sometimes obviously they pop in on my lives, and that's okay. Or like the live I did this morning, I had to run out of the live to go get him from stopping to do something, and came back and was like, sorry guys, and was perfectly, like they want to see that, and they want to know that, okay, I can do this too. But yeah, I planted at the beginning of my party, and then I planted in that big post at the end on the very last day as well. And typically my parties, I start them on Sundays. A lot of times it's Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and they'll do all their ads. They'll add all their people, and then it's just the general like size charts and a main post just about Zaya. And then I don't start my next post until Monday, and I usually use Mondays as my legging days. So right away Monday morning, I'll do a reach out. How do you know the host? First 2 people to comment receive a $5 gift card from me, because those 2 $5 gift cards are more than likely sure to be a purchase. But I do that as my very first post, and then Monday is all about leggings. Tuesday, and I'll throw in a couple like a tank post in there, and then Tuesday I do joggers and bras. Although I will say with our low inventory of bras, I've made my posts about bras a little bit vague. I still go over all the different kinds, but I do that in my live too. And I really base Wednesday is new releases, and then Thursdays and Fridays is kind of your thank yous and your reach outs. And if something comes in stock, your restocks at this point. And then if I don't have a lot of feedback, I'll jump on and see like what we have a lot in stock, and I'll try to like there was one where I did the chill tank because we had a lot of stock in the chill tank. So basically I put that it was, you know, like the tank, what the big things that I loved of that tank were, posted the price at the bottom, and then you get a lot of feedback from that as well. With the groups, you can mark as the announcement as well, which I find is very helpful to your guests. You can mark it as your announcement, and that link to the party is right there at the beginning. With the events, it gets so lost in everything that you lose it. So definitely mark that announcement as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have all had this when you mark the announcement and then people are like, how do I order? And I've been in a lot of, like I've told you guys before, I study consumer decision making. I like to research logic around purchasing. Obviously I'm in a lot of other parties too, like Pampered Chef. I mean, you name it or whatever. And I'm getting a lot of that feedback right now on social media. It's like, oh, I'm in this party, and now I'm in this party, and now I'm in this party. And so that's like the direct sales way right now, right? So I'm trying to come up with more creative ways around having party and getting sales, because everybody is in some sort of party at any time, you know? So you have to really set yourself apart, not just from other Zaya reps, because most of the time you're going to have a party, and some of those people have been in a party maybe before. So I think about things like that. I think that's the joys of Zaya. Sorry. I think that's the joys of Zaya too. Like one of my posts on the second day is, basically you say one positive thing about the host. And I think that's so important because, and I know a lot of girls are doing multiple parties in one, and it's not that I disagree with that because I haven't tried that myself. But I find that it's not near as intimate, I guess you want to say, like it's not near as one-on-one, because that one post on my Tuesday morning as my reach out just to get their attention to come back to the group throughout the day is tell me one positive thing about the host. And it can be anywhere from she has pretty eyes or, like just her, I love her style, but that is setting up the rest of your party for all that much more positivity. Like, I think it's so hard for us, like we think those compliments, but sometimes we can't say compliments. And that's been something like even myself, like that totally opens the door to way more trust. You just love. And I mean, you'd be amazed by the comments, and then you comment off of them, like, oh, that's so sweet. I totally agree with you. Just anything. All right. Well, I know I posted in the group text. I'm huge about self-thinking. So my last job, I used to have these coaches, and I worked in athletics, right? So I coached soccer, and I used to have these coaches come to me, and they're like, hey, do you know how to blah, blah, blah? And I'll be like, yeah, we just went over that, like as far as budgets go or whatever. Or they'll be like, hey, do you know? And they always were asking me questions. And I was sitting in the same meetings that they were. As our team gets bigger, you will get people on your team, and you'll have new members that message you and say, hey, do you know how to set up my party link? And you're like, yeah, we did a training on that. Okay. Do you know how to do a return? Yeah, we did a training on that. Okay, I don't mind helping anyone, right? I am all about like helping people. I offer Tuesday trainings for you guys. I seek training, Heather seeks training. If there's a call, we're usually on it. But what I want to foster in this environment is to be self-thinkers, okay? No. And I love bouncing ideas off of you guys. As much as you guys learn from me, I learn way more from all of you. So what I want to foster is self-thinking, right? So whenever something has gone bad or has gone wrong in my business, yeah, I might reach out to a couple of girls I'm sister lined with or one of my friends in the squad. But for the most part, I'm the one who's responsible for figuring out what to do about it, okay? So when I can't get metallics, I got to figure it out. Whenever I have a party and there's zero engagement, and that happens often, I have to figure it out. I cannot be successful if I have parties with zero engagement, okay? So there are a couple things that I do, right? I message everybody in the party. You know, I add them as friends if I need to. I message the hostess and say, hey, can we get a group text with a couple of your really good friends in that party so I can meet them on an intimate level? I go live. There's certain behaviors that I do when I have a party that has zero engagement and zero orders. I coach my hostess. So what I wanted to ask you guys is, you have a party and you don't have to respond. I mean, obviously I have Amy here because she was the training person today, but you know, it's a hypothetical, but it's real life, right? So we'll do these pretty much every Tuesday. It's what would you do scenarios, and it's inspiration from the book that I'm reading, but it's what would you do if you had a party with zero engagement and there were crickets. And I want you to think about that, and I want you to brainstorm and write down as many ideas as you can, because you're going to be prepared to have parties with crickets. You're going to be prepared to have in-homes. When we go back to in-homes, you're going to have an in-home and the party has one person that shows up, right? One person that shows up, and you got to figure out, how do I make this a $200 party, and how do I figure out how do I get that one person to sign up, right? So those are the kinds of things that I want you to brainstorm. Those are good journaling activities, okay? And I want you guys to foster that. That's why I love our group chat, is because whenever somebody has problems, big or small, new rep, old rep, whatever it is, we're all there to throw out ideas and behaviors that will help us get around that. So whenever you're talking to your teams, whenever you're going out and reaching out to your customers, think about the scenarios that you might be able to find yourself in. Like we just had a couple questions in the group chat. Okay, I have 6 pre-orders. What's the best way to do this? If it were me, I would start a mystery hostess link, and I would put all 6 pre-orders, ship them to me, and I ship them out. And then I pull a name for $60 off or $70 off, and I ask that person, hey, do you want to continue this mystery hostess event and have your own party? Or would you like to join my team? You get $65 off of a kit. Okay, that's what I would do. Now, obviously, I've been here for a minute, and obviously, I've done a lot of training, and I might know other things, but you have to be a self-thinker, and you have to be a self-doer. Okay, so whether you've been in the business 1 week, 1 day, or 1 hour, all right, I want you to think about, how do I foster an environment that allows us to be self-thinkers and self-doers with also collaborating together as a team? Does that make sense? So I'll just ask Amy, because she's a trainer, but if you had 6 pre-orders, okay, what would you do?
So first off, I would think, okay, how am I going to get all of these, but at my least stress level? So I'm going to be honest, guys, today's a crazy day for me. And I'm hoping restocks for Leopards come out at exactly 1:30, because I board a plane at 3 p.m. And you better believe I'm going to be crazy if they haven't restocked. But, so, have a backup plan. I'm not going to be home for a month. I'm not going to be able to get them out. So, if you look at my notebook, you're going to see I have their name, I have their address, I have their credit card info. Everything is broken down to the item number. Like, I'm going to try my hardest. We're also leaving very early for the airport. So I'm at the airport, I'm sitting at the airport, and I have my laptop ready so that I can get those in before I board a plane. And then have a backup. I mean, for me, I know I always have my upline to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So she's even been like, hey, send me a picture if it gets close, because I won't be off the plane until 5 5 o'clock California time, but that's 7 o'clock here. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, those are going to be sold out by then. So like, think what works best for you and your business. Because I mean, if you can have them all shipped to you, that's the best way. Purchase them all under you. And kind of, as far as the parties too, I also have an open party going. So always have that. It's summer party right now, but you know, like kind of like you said, always have that party going. Enter them all into one party under one order. That's the easiest way, if you ask me. And then you can divvy those rewards out, but make sure you have everything lined up.
Yeah, I mean, I know like Kelly and I have worked together a couple of times. Like if you have time and your kids can be distracted for a little while, you know, my kids know on Wednesdays, like they're at noon to 2, really, you know, it's a little bit of a screen time, you know, they got to earn it. But, you know, if you can use your upline, you know, and the team's small enough, like I can't order for everyone, but like I have a girl on a float trip and she's like, hey, can you grab me a bra? 100%, just like my customers. I will try my best. I'm not going to be on at exactly 1:30 on the dot and order these, but I will try my best and I order them, and then you can just Venmo me back, or like she said, she has her card number. So a long time ago when the website started acting crazy, I just told myself, like, it's just not meant to be. You know, I kind of walk away from my computer and then I come back or whatever. But what I want you guys to think about for next week, I think I have some training set up. Listen, I offer trainings once a week. Whether you can watch it on the replay, you can could jump on live and ask questions. It's very beneficial. I think if you do one training a week and you keep to the simple host, post, follow up, you will be, and you're consistent with that, give it a year, you will be thankful that you did, okay? Doesn't mean you can't make tweaks or add more or less, but for the most part, anybody that's in my sister line that I'm in a parallel rank to, we really don't do anything very different. You know, at this point, we're training our teams once a week. We have one-on-one calls with people to set up the business. You know, we're reaching out. I reach out to 10 people a day. You know, and that's what I told Heather when I did business calls with her, is 10 people a day. And she was like, wow. And she did it. So, you know, you either do it or you don't. You check it off or you don't. But what I will tell you guys is this: be self-motivated to kind of go out there and just run. Amy didn't know everything off the bat. She jumped in and she just did it, and she has found a lot of good success. Same with like Jamie and some of our other reps that had just joined more recently. If you're really strong in one area, go ahead and try. Don't recreate the wheel. Do exactly what you do in sales that you do into recruiting, and vice versa, you know. But what I also will tell you is, if you want to be stronger in an area, find somebody who is really strong and really work with them for like a week or so if they have some time and you have time. Because anything that I focused on in this business has paid me back fully. So I'll go ahead and if you guys don't have any questions for Amy, we can open it up. If not, I'll just upload the recording so you can share with your teams and you guys can get ready for leopards. And just like Lindsay responded in the group, Aaron and the corporate team have said there should be plenty to go around. So you know, I wouldn't try to stress as much, but if you want and you need to get some stuff for your customer, then, you know, you want to go in it with full intensity, I guess. But leopards and metallics don't make your business. You know, they help and they might give you a good cushion for a month. But those things are just the key items that give you a little extra push. They don't make your business. So does anybody have any questions for Amy? I have this. All right. Well, if you guys have any additional questions, obviously always ask the group. Be self-thinkers. You know, when you focus on behaviors, all the aspects of your business really start to see good success. So thanks, guys, for coming on here. I really appreciate it. Oh, sorry. Wait, Jen has a question.
Sorry. No, I don't know. I can't see anybody's faces. I don't know if it's my she shed or what, but I do have.
How do you raise your hand? That's so cool.
Yeah, I raised my hand. That's the only thing I knew how to do. I do have a question though, just on like the parties, because what I noticed too, and I was doing some research last night because I just did a party, not realizing events were different than the groups, and I'm like having zero interaction in the event, and I wish I would have set it up as the group. But just by the party, just because you guys are more experienced, do you think it would be weird if I switched over to a group? It's only like 2 days in.
So I had to do that with one of my events because kind of like you said, there wasn't a whole lot of interaction, and I reached out to the hostess. Like I always ask the hostess what she wants, what she expects out of the party. And so I reached out to her and I asked her if that would be okay with her. And then I also asked her, hey, would you like to extend your party? But maybe send some messages to a few of your guests who you think want to order.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that very, very successful.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't realize that you wouldn't see everything on the event. Like you said in the beginning, you didn't realize it was like a missing link. So
yeah. And for whatever reason, like, even if that end date for your event has passed, you can't change it. So after that event's over, your people don't see the notifications. So you're posting and there literally are, like, there's no one who's seeing it.
it's true. So, okay, cool. Yeah.
You're welcome, Jen. Good question. I still can't figure out how to raise my hand, but that'll be on my.
If you go to participants, and you click your name, you can raise your hand and lower your hand.
Well, I think
I don't know. Maybe because I'm the host. I can't raise my own hand. Well, anyways, look, I just learned something new. So thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. So just a little heads up before we go. Jamie's raising her hand. Good girl. I know Jen and maybe Jamie and some of us are working on a training series. I'll have a call to collaborate on that, but it's challenges per week. So you're focused on seamless behaviors. You're working on nutrition, you're working on physical and mental fitness, and you're working on your business. So it'll be something that you can use for your team. It'll be something fun for July. July is typically, like Katie has said, it's usually like a low month. So if we're adding and we're building and we're strengthening teams and onboarding systems, then we might not have such a low month for July. So just some things that are up ahead. If you do have anybody on the board for your team for June, I'm going to do a little giveaway because we are knocking it on the park. I think adding someone per day for our group is just phenomenal. So I want to reward everybody for working hard and for seeing those results. So if you guys have any questions, shoot them in the group, okay? Be self-thinkers and self-doers, and thanks for getting on. Jamie, do you have a question for real? Okay. All right, you guys are awesome. Go snatch up some leopards.
Bye. Thank you, Amy.